Hello everyone in the second part of the video about pugs. In this part, we will tell you how to properly walk with your pet and take care of his health. Pugs are active and energetic dogs that need regular walks and exercise. However, unlike more energetic breeds, their activity should be moderate so as not to overload the pet. Pugs are prone to obesity, and due to their structural features, such as a short muzzle and short paws, they cannot withstand to intense physical exertion. Like other dogs, pugs need to walk in the fresh air. However, the duration and intensity of these walks should take into account the physical characteristics of the breed. The recommended time for pug walks is about 30 to 40 minutes a day. This time is quite enough for the dog to maintain a normal level of activity, get fresh air, and keep in good physical shape. It is important that the walks are regular and varied. However, it is worth considering that pugs cannot walk for a long time, especially in hot weather. Their short muzzle makes them more prone to overheating, and they can easily get tired if they walk for too long. In the summer, it is especially important to control the length of walks to avoid overheating. It is important that the dog always has access to water. As for the types of activity, pugs are dogs that like active but short games. They can happily run after a ball or a toy for short distances. These games help to keep the pug in physical shape without overloading him. These dogs love to explore new places, so walking in parks or open spaces is also suitable for them. They can move freely and explore the surrounding area. However, physical activity for pugs should be adapted to their characteristics. Pugs do not tolerate prolonged and intense loads. Pugs cannot run long distances, except for short sprints. For example, running bicycles or long hikes over rough terrain are not suitable for this breed. Quiet walks with rest breaks are best suited for pugs. This will help to prevent overwork and excessive stress on their body. There are several types of physical activity that can be used for pugs. Moderation is the most important thing for this breed. In addition to walking, dog training sessions will be useful, or light physical exercise such as swimming if available. Swimming is a great exercise for pugs as it does not overload the joints but also helps to strengthen the muscles and improve the overall physical condition of the dog. However, it is always important to remember that any physical activity must be adapted to the pug's state of health. Walking with a pug should be varied, and it is important to ensure that the pet is not overloaded. For example, after an active walk, you need to give your dog time to rest and recover, especially if the walk was long or intense. Regular physical activity helps pugs maintain a normal weight as they are prone to obesity. If a pug does not move enough, it can lead to excess weight, which increases the risk of diseases. Therefore, it is important to keep the dog's activity at the proper level in order to avoid health problems. In addition to physical activity, it is important to take into account the psychological needs of pugs. These dogs are very social and love attention. Walking is not only a way to keep fit, but also an opportunity to spend time with the owner, strengthen the bond, and satisfy the need for communication. It is important that walks are not only physically active, but also emotionally intense. Thus, walking and physical activity for a pug should be balanced and moderate. Regular walks, outdoor games, and light physical exercises will help your pet stay healthy, active, and happy. But always remember to take into account the individual characteristics of the breed and the health status of the dog. Pugs are very funny and loyal dogs, but they have a number of features that require careful attention to their health. Taking care of the pug's health includes not only regular veterinary examinations, but also the prevention of diseases that are characteristic of this breed. It is important to remember that pugs, despite their compactness and attractive appearance, have a number of vulnerabilities that require special attention. One of the main health problems of pugs is their respiratory system. Because of the flat muzzle, pugs can suffer from various respiratory diseases. Shortness of breath, which occurs during physical activity, is a fairly common symptom in these dogs. Pugs are also prone to obstructive sleep apnea, which can be dangerous if they do not seek medical help. Regular checkups with a veterinarian will help identify such problems in time and start treatment. In addition to breathing problems, pugs are also susceptible to eye diseases. Their large eyes, while giving them a charming appearance, can be vulnerable to injury and infection. Pugs often have problems with conjunctivitis, cataracts, and other eye diseases. To prevent such problems, it is necessary to regularly examine the pet's eyes, monitor their condition, and contact a veterinarian at the first signs of inflammation. Another important problem for pugs is joint diseases such as hip dysplasia and knee dislocation. Pugs, despite their compactness, can be prone to these problems, especially if you do not follow the rules of physical activity or if the dog is overweight. Joint health care includes regular physical activity, weight control, and, if necessary, the use of joint supplements. In addition, regular visits to the veterinarian are necessary for mandatory vaccinations and routine checkups. Pugs, like other dogs, should receive vaccines against infectious diseases such as rabies, parvovirus, plague, and others. Vaccination is an important protection measure for both the health of a pet and its owners. It is also important not to forget about preventive examinations, which include checking the condition of teeth, skin, and coat. Tartar and gum disease are a common problem in pugs as they are prone to plaque formation. Regular brushing of teeth and the use of special toothpastes for dogs will help to avoid dental problems and prevent the development of oral diseases. It is equally important to monitor the pug's skin condition. Due to the wrinkles on the skin that are characteristic of this breed, pugs can be prone to skin infections and dermatitis. Regular cleansing of the wrinkles on the muzzle, as well as the use of special skincare products, will help to avoid such problems. In addition, regular checkups with a veterinarian will help identify possible allergic reactions to food, wool, or the environment. Pugs can suffer from allergies, which can manifest as skin rashes, itching, or even breathing problems. If your pet develops similar symptoms, it is important to contact a veterinarian as soon as possible for diagnosis and treatment. Thus, regular veterinary examinations and timely attention to the pug's health are the key to his long and happy life. Disease prevention, proper nutrition, vaccinations, and attention to the characteristic health problems of this breed will help to avoid many complications, and they will keep your pet in excellent physical shape.